Like No, I think
she
she's fine.
definitely grows on you by the end of the show,
Yeah.
but it's not the same Hera. The same,
No.
yeah.
She's like, what do we got here, boys? Is that a hyperdrive core? Is that what kind of where are you going with that? We got to make it an official investigation here, fellas.
If I gotta pull rank on you. Hello, and welcome to Star Gaze, where we're not only force sensitive, we're fierce sensitive.
Yes. Love it. You're sporting a very Skywalker haircut. It's very Clone Wars.
You know,
Fading in.
I'm gonna try to keep it this way. Well, let it grow anyway.
Solid
We'll
Galaxy's Edge
get
look.
there. I'm excited. I'm
um
gonna look the part.
yeah, do get it. Be so method about it.
Hmm.
Love it. Anyway, so today we're talking about Ahsoka. Season one ended kind of a while ago now. um, a couple weeks ago, and so I thought we would kind of dive in and talk about it episode by episode, if that works for you. I don't know what
That
notes you
works.
have, um, but I want to say, I guess, as an opener, I love this show.
Yes. And you know,
Uh,
I don't understand. Like a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's just another season of Rebels," and I didn't really feel that way. Like I feel like it was really Rebels heavy,
yeah.
but it didn't feel like just a continuation or of that show. It definitely felt like its own thing to me.
Yeah, I felt like it was very like Angel season one.
Yeah.
Like very Buffy heavy, like she was there a lot, but you
And
know,
we have some key character crossovers,
oh,
but
right, and clearly like a lot of backstory. If so, if you did not watch Buffy, you were like, what is happening?
right.
But definitely its own thing in its own ride.
And I also don't understand why people stating that it's just Rebels season two was necessarily a bad thing either, because Rebels was
Yeah,
great. Well, not season two,
yeah,
but a continuation of Rebels. Like Rebels is great. It's a good story, and all those characters are important.
yeah,
And I thought it was great to see what happens after.
yeah. It's a great show. So just watch Rebels,
But yeah.
stupid bitches. Uh, and that's how we feel about that. Yeah. Uh, um, so I will say, so I love this show, but I do want to be objective, so I do have some critiques about this show. So, I think I have things to say episode by episode. So I think we'll start there and then do some fun
Sounds
stuff
good.
after. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay.
Pull the
Wow.
trigger. Let's do this.
Pull it. Yes. Put it in my mouth and pull the trigger. Yes. Make sure it's loaded. Okay.
It's like that. I'm sorry. Have you seen that Luke Skywalker GIF where he's looking at the lightsaber and just turns it on? I laugh every time.
there's there's a picture I think you posted it, I think, on your story at one point. But it's like Yoda, that scene from Attack of the Clones, and Yoda has all the younglings and they have their like training sabers. And there's just one kid that's like a flat affect and he's just pointing it at his chest. And he's just ready to rock.
Let's do it.
Yeah. He had a vision of the force of what was to come, and he was like, I'm not
Just
sticking
gonna
around
check
for
out.
that.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not doing that.
Yeah.
He like jumps every time he sees Anakin in the halls. Like, oh shit.
Oh my god. Anyways, season one of Drag Race Peridia was a joy. Um, so episode one was a master and apprentice. So, first of all, this is the first TV show to have a crawl. So we had a little crawl, felt very Star Warsy. We got some familiar original trilogy era sets, and then we got like this almost like Phantom Menace type opening with
Hmm.
Balin and Shin. And then they take over the cruiser to free Morgan. Thoughts?
As we were watching it, I was really into it. And I think because it reminded me so much of Phantom Menace and just
Yeah.
it just felt very Star Wars.
Yeah. Right
And
from
I
the
really liked
beginning.
that. And I was really hoping, yeah, I was really hoping that we would get that from this show, that it would feel Star Wars, um, and continue the story in a great way.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, we also get Ahsoka at a Night Sister temple, and it's very Indiana Jones kind of. She's like solving a puzzle, and she's like slowly looking at walls and going, and turning stuff. And then she walks slowly around to another thing, and she's like, and just kind of turns stuff. And then I was like, why was this so hard to find? um, but then she gets a star map, which we would eventually find out is to Peridia. Um, and then we learned some interesting information in this episode. I feel like this episode was very exposition heavy in the sense that we had to catch everybody up. But I feel
Yeah.
like they do it very heavy handed. Um, Ahsoka's conversation with all of her conversations with Hera, for example. Um, and then we get this bombshell piece of information that she's trained Sabine before, and I don't know why, but like, how did that begin? Because they have no interaction in Rebels. Like they never have a single conversation. Um, but I will say I really liked the action and I really liked the way it ended. And it was a really strong opening, I thought.
Yeah, I definitely agree that it was exposition heavy. I think if they didn't, though, it would run the risk of losing people who didn't watch
Yeah,
Rebels prior to seeing it.
yeah,
So while it was kind of a little drawn out and really heavy, I do think it was important that they did it.
yeah.
And like you said,
Uh,
we learned some really integral information into the show.
yeah. I like Hu Yang traveling around with Ahsoka,
Hmm.
which is weird because I really didn't know how he would fit into this show at all, and I never really thought about them having any type of relationship either. But he really works as like she's like her Alfred.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. Um, yeah, and I like the way that he really pushes Sabine, and he calls her on her bullshit all the time.
He's kind of
And he's
sassy. I love it.
Yeah, he's really cool. I like him. Um, we get a good look at Lothal. We had Clancy Brown um appearing in live action, which was really cool for him. And I really liked all of that stuff because it looked straight out of Rebels, honestly.
Hmm.
And I liked all the touches in like the tower, which Ezra used to live in, and all that stuff. And um, I liked all the stuff with Sabine. I liked her fight with Shin. I liked all that stuff. Part two, Toil and Trouble, aired on the same day. So this is part of the 2 episode drop we got. Um, so we pick up right where we left off. And Shin and Balin take the map to Cetos, where Elsbeth reveals herself to be a Night Sister and does all this magic-y shit with the map, and things start to get kind of interesting. And then this is when Ahsoka and Hera go to Corellia too to try and track down the map via that way. I feel like this wasn't as strong, and I think it was smart to air these on the same day.
Yeah, I think if they had done their individual weeks, it wouldn't have felt as good of a story.
Yeah. And Sabine is like bedridden for the most part the whole time.
Oh, that's right. She gets Qui-Gon Jinn and it's totally fine.
Yeah, like she is a-okay. Um, I I don't know. I liked the fight at the end with the Inquisitor or zombie, whatever the fuck he was. Um, we'll talk about it there. I liked all that stuff. It looked really nice. Um, but we didn't really get a lot done. And then by the end of it, it's like, oh, now we're finally like getting to what we need to do.
Mhm. Can we talk for a minute about, I believe you put it as NASCAR Hera?
Yeah. She
Yeah.
oh girl. She she has a barbecue every Sunday, watches some NASCAR.
I don't, so I don't dislike this portrayal of her, but it was very not the Hera from Rebels for me. And it was a little jarring at first.
Yeah, which so let's talk about Hera.
Let's get
Okay.
into it.
Let's talk about Hera. Um she she is kind of a letdown in this show. And by the end of it, I'm like, okay, I'm sold on it a little bit.
Yeah, by
But
the end, it grows on you.
yeah, but it is really bizarre. And she is very like one of the guys, like in the shop. I'm not like other girls, like that type of bitch. And I
Yeah, it didn't give, so Rebels Hera gave me very maternal, and this
uh-huh.
did not give me maternal in that sense. It was very like proving myself that I can be one of the guys, and that I don't know, it just didn't vibe with me the same way as it did in Rebels.
No. And I also don't know why uh the Rebels actress couldn't just play her in live action.
Yeah, that would have been cool. They did it for
She's
a few other
yeah,
characters.
yeah, and she's definitely in shape for it. She definitely could have. But Elizabeth Winstead said that she believes she got the part by being on the Obi-Wan Kenobi set and visiting Ewan when they were filming Kenobi. And she was networking with Deborah Chow, who ended up directing who was directing Obi-Wan, but she had directed episodes of The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. So she knows Dave Filoni very well. And so then was in Dave Filoni's ear saying, hey, you should cast her as Hera. Like, just do it. I think she'd make a good one.
It'll be great.
Yeah. And he was like, okay. And here we are.
Yeah, and to be fair, like I said, she wasn't terrible. Like
No, I think
she
she's fine.
definitely grows on you by the end of the show,
Yeah.
but it's not the same Hera, the same.
No.
Yeah.
She's like, what do we got here, boys? Is that a hyperdrive core? Is that what kind of where are you going with that? We got to make it an official investigation here, fellas.
I'm not gonna pull rank on you.
Yeah.
Like, God.
Yeah, not my thing. And yeah, she lives in a motorhome somewhere. She watches NASCAR every weekend. She is a Gordon fan. She like that is who she's thinking about when she's using her vibrator. Okay. hmm Put on your AirPods, Jason. Mama's got to do a thing.
Yeah, she's smoking a pack of Marlboro Reds and kicking Jason out to go play outside.
Mom, is that you? Whoa. The flashbacks. Okay. Uh, um, uh, part 3 was Time to Fly, expertly titled because that's all we do this episode. This is the one where they're trying to catch up to everybody on Cetos, and they're flying around, and they run into the Purrgil. It's when we get our first kind of good look at the Purrgil in live action, which was pretty cool. Um, and for the most part, that's all this was. It was a dogfight for the bulk of the episode, and them realizing that they're building a hyperdrive ring, which I feel like we mostly knew already.
Right. Yeah. We just see it.
Yeah. Um,
Is this
yeah,
the one where Sabine attempts to move the cup? Or is that the one before?
that is an excellent. No, I think it's this one because they're training in this one.
Right. Which, as far as stoneware goes, those cups are awesome. I would like a
Yeah,
set.
on her training mat slash kitchen table.
Yeah. Okay. So I have issues with this. Never once did anyone wipe this down after they're walking on it with their dirty ass shoes. Like, come on.
Yeah,
That's your table.
yeah. You know, as someone who lived in a trailer where the kitchen table also was a bed, um, I get the sake of functionality. Okay. This was a little much because it looks like, for the most part, lots of luxurious space. There could have been easily a fold down,
Yeah.
or maybe it lowers. Like, how about we have one that lowers so we're not like on top of the name? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not walking all over it.
Yeah. No, thank you. Or I don't know, Ahsoka, buy a fucking house.
She's into the RV life. Let her have it.
Yeah. Grow the fuck up. No, just kidding. Um,
In this economy, no way.
fucking hippie. She's like, oh, I go where I'm needed. Yeah, shut the fuck up.
And I take my house with me.
Yeah, or fucking VW bus.
With our droid butler.
Mm-hmm. Hu Yang, the fucking British hippie that she met online and flew over. Anyways, she designed an entirely different show.
And
Um,
I want to watch that show.
what I did like about this show was this show. This episode was the sequence where she's in the spacesuit.
Yeah. How cool was that?
Yeah, that felt exactly like something out of Clone Wars because
Mhm.
it's just something that's like cool and weird like that. And also because the episode felt like a waste of my time.
Yes. So they had to give you something.
Very much like Clone Wars. Uh, how are the Martez sisters? Um,
Hate
sorry.
them.
Stupid sluts. Um, part 4 was Fallen Jedi. This was a doozy. So this was the one where they're now on Cetos, and the assassin droids come and attack Hu Yang, and then we get a little sequence. This is probably the most that felt like Rebels to me, because
Mhm.
Sabine fights very much like she does in Rebels, and it looks exactly the same. That was really impressive. And even when her helmet is on, she sounds way more like Sabine, and it feels great. Um, And then they run through the forest. I was like, wow, they're really trying to make it there. I was like, they don't have speeders or something, or maybe we just move the RV. Like they already know we're here. Why don't we just fly the RV to their fucking front lawn? Or I don't know, fly the. Oh, I guess their ship was damaged. I guess that makes sense. But I was like, just fly that shit over there and fucking make them eat laser. Uh, anyways, um,
And there are parts of those fights that were really irritating too, like where they easily could have just ended it and been done with it,
mhm.
but for drama's sake, they did not.
Yeah, there was a lot of walking and talking in this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did like her fight with Maroke, I think is how they ended up pronouncing it in the show.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. I'm assuming he was made with Night Sister magic,
And what
which,
appears to be vacuum dust.
yeah, which I guess, I don't know, maybe that was just her pledge powers, but I was like, her initiation hadn't happened yet. I, I don't know. I don't know what they allow her to do magic wise as a pledge. Um, you know, but I guess. Um, but I liked that. I did like Shin and Sabine's little fight, and I ultimately liked Ahsoka and Balin's fight, but there was a lot of just walking and talking.
Well, they're warming up to each other. Remember, it's a ship you've created.
Yeah. I really honestly think by the end of it he'll be inside her.
Body, mind, and spirit.
Just like I am a one with the force and you are one with me, baby. We're back, everybody. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Oh shit. Um, what actually happened in this episode? Okay, so
Oh, this is go sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. What?
This is at the end where Sabine royally screws up.
Oh, this whole thing pissed me off. Which I mean, I get it. She's like, I want to see my friend, but it's just such a stupid move.
It's so obviously stupid. Like you've done this kind of shit for how long now? And you're just like, yeah, this is the right choice. Now, granted, if she hadn't, they probably wouldn't have gotten there to get Ezra and everything. But that was Ahsoka's whole point was
Yeah.
you have to make the choice. What's best for the what's best for the galaxy is probably not going to be what you want to do.
Well, that's why Ezra left in the first place. That was the
Right.
whole point of the whole thing. So now they're just both back.
We're back
So
where we started.
stupid. And it just feels like I feel like Sabine, by the time we see her at the end of Rebels, is not this Sabine that we see in Ahsoka.
No,
Like it just seems like we're back several steps for some reason.
she has regressed. So
Yeah.
maybe that occurred when Ahsoka attempted to train her
I guess
and
she
she lost
fucked her up and made her worse.
right, or like she lost some confidence in herself, or I
Yeah.
don't know. But
Wow.
yeah. Also her hair. Um, I don't like her hair.
I
Like
liked
a
it
really nip it.
way better in the beginning when it was long.
Yeah, I was feeling it more when I was like, but when she cuts it, it just looks it looks like a cosplay wig.
It does, yeah.
And I don't feel like didn't at the end of Rebels, wasn't it like lavender, not like violet? It just bugs me.
Hot topic though. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Imagine being that person
Leave
at
your opinions down
Lucasfilm.
in the comments below, please.
Imagine being on set and being like, no, wait, guys. No. Her hair was laughing.
You know what? It just
Take
bothered,
this
and it
shit
looks.
back.
I felt like, I mean, in the cartoon, the lavender looked better. I thought, because when if it looks too fake, it just looks like a cosplayer in a cosplay wig, and that
Yeah,
like quality.
she kind of just looks like Maddie Morphosis.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Especially at the end when she does her force pushes and she's like, I'm like, okay,
Thanks, Maddie.
goodbye. Mm-hmm. Anyways, then Ahsoka fucking dies again. This bitch, how many times does someone need to resurrect her, bring her back from the brink of
She
death?
can't be killed.
Yeah, she's truly Gandalf. She's the Buffy Summers of Star Wars.
Absolutely.
Um,
That's why we like her so much.
probably. Um, anyways, so she's assumedly dying, and then she runs into Anakin. Boom, episode ends. Uh, but I like this one. This is when I feel like the show like really started doing something.
Hmm.
It started simmering. We were like, oh, okay, all right. Um, part 5 was Shadow Warrior, where Anakin and I almost forgot her name. Ahsoka.
It's the name of the show, Grady.
Yeah. But anyways, Ahsoka and Anakin travel back through Ahsoka's memories to parts of the Clone Wars that for some reason are really foggy because they're using the volume and they have a budget. So you can kind of make out things warlike happening in the background. Real
It paints a
foggy.
picture.
Yeah. Um, and then meanwhile, Hera is getting in trouble for going to chase after Ahsoka and Sabine, and Jason is wandering around with Chopper, feeling stuff and looking at the waves and shit. So,
Listening to the water.
yeah,
He's zenning out.
yeah. He's like, Mom, listen, I just did way more shrooms than I meant to do. And
And the
if you just
fucking
listen to these
ocean is
waves,
talking to me.
there is
Can you
something,
not hear it?
there is something, there is something about the water. And I think
Might want to
I'm
look into
hearing
that.
lightsabers. And she's like, You hear the fucking waves? And he's like, No, Mom, listen. I'm hearing the lightsabers.
You don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Jason is a total junkie. Fuck Jason. Um, just like his deadbeat dad.
Whoa.
uh, which one were we on? Okay, so part 6 was actually no. Let's go back because I do want to spend more time talking about the Clone Wars because that was pretty. Hayden Christensen killed it in this episode.
Oh, absolutely.
This was everything I could have ever dreamed of. This is what I wanted to see in Obi-Wan.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so this was great. And I love that he got to be Anakin and Vader in this episode. Very
Oh my God. The
cool.
internet just like lost their mind. Like memes galore all over the place.
I know, and I feel like everyone's like, give him his own show, and then it's like, oh, what the hell would you do with that? But
Yeah.
I'm also like, make it about him meeting Thrawn. Show me that story
Yeah.
during the Clone Wars. I think that would be cool. Mm. So part 6, we catch up with our villains as they're arriving on Peridia. So and then we meet the Great Mothers, trio of witches. Um,
The Sanderson sisters.
yes, it's the Charmed ones in the WB vault without light for quite some time. um, I mean, some of them are a stone's throw away from looking like Rose McGowan, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyways, um, but I really love that, and we get to see Thrawn for the first time. We see the Night Troopers for the first time. We see the Chimera in live action for the first time. This was great. Um, Sabine and Thrawn are reunited. I like that little exchange because he was a big fan of her art. It was a big part of him tracking them during Rebels. So
He's a fan.
yeah, he loves her. I ship them too. Um
Eh, no. Leave that in the forums.
I'm gonna write it. Uh, um yeah, but I like that. And then she gets sent on her way. They're like, here's this dog. Go out there and do your thing, girl. Like, whatever.
I love the wolf dog thing that she got. It reminds me of my dog.
Yeah, I mean,
My favorite thing.
yeah, my dog is not a fan of them, but it's
Well,
okay.
Link probably wouldn't be either if he saw it, but he doesn't watch shit with me. So.
um, and then we see our first look at live action Ezra, which was cool.
Yeah.
But that would have way more weight. But yes, he was there. um, Part 7, we open up with Hera on trial because she's breaking the rules and whatnot. And Senator Ziono is trying to shred her to pieces in this courtroom. He's a douchebag. He's a douchebag in Star Wars Resistance also. And so it kind of makes sense. And I'm kind of feeling like he's probably in league with the Imperial Remnants and probably has a lot to do with the First Order. Anyways,
Yeah, because
um,
it's like really hard to discredit anything Hera said.
yeah, makes it a point to make sure nobody even considers it. And I think that's shady. I think we're gonna find out some stuff about him. But just in the nick of time, C3PO arrives and just introduces new paperwork to the trial because I guess you can do that.
But what a great cameo from 3PO.
Yeah, really great. I do. It is a little weird to just make it a patch job as to why Leia isn't there for some reason, even though I think she should be at this trial because she's head of the defense committee, I believe, or something like that. They said
Mhm.
so. It kind of feels like something she should be at, but she's like, oh no, actually, not only am I not attending, but also this is pointless because I'm gonna say this was fine. Um, yeah, but it was nice to see C3PO. Further proof that we will just say goodbye to Anthony Daniels every year until he is dead. Because it is never the last time he's gonna play 3P. Oh man. So Ahsoka's arriving on Peridia, and Thrawn's laid a trap for her, is what this initial sequence is. And they're killing the Purrgil, and then she makes the Purrgil spit her out. And and then the Purrgil are like, cool, thanks for flying, Air Purrgil. We're gonna dip.
Get out.
Thank you so much. Um And then she's flying through the Purgle bones, which is kind of cool. And then Thrawn's like, hey, you know what, great mothers? If I continue to have sex with all three of you, will you use your dark magic to find this Jedi? And they find her they find her exact coordinates. They cast a spell to Google map their way to Ahsoka, which was really bizarre. Um, like literally like a find my iPhone.
Well, who hasn't used a locator spell in a pinch? You know?
Yeah. Um, not them to find Ezra, I guess. Because he's hanging out with the turtle people out back. Like he's really not that far. So,
Well, I think
uh,
it was that Ahsoka was using the Force to talk to Sabine, right? And that's why they saw where she was. So maybe Ezra is very discerning about when he uses the Force in that kind of
maybe,
capacity.
maybe. And he's got nobody to call out there.
Right. Who's he? You know, yeah.
Yeah.
No cell
Thrawn.
towers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, buddy.
Just checking in on you.
Yeah. Remember that night we had to, keep each other warm for survival in hyperspace? um,
This
yeah.
anthology of ships you're creating. It's very fascinating.
Yeah. Um anyway, so then Ahsoka flies down to Peridia, zip, 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 zip. Um and then she ends up joining Ahsoka and Sabine, who've been ambushed by night troopers and Shin and the Marauders or whoever the fuck. Um
With
and
their
then
merry
Ahsoka,
band of turtle campers.
yes, exactly. Um Also Balin's like, hey Shin, I don't give a fuck about you anymore. So you go do your thing. I'm gonna go do mine. It's been a wonderful training you.
We
Good
clearly
luck.
don't want the same thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm glad I waited till we were in a completely other galaxy to let you know that we're no longer working together. But good luck to you. Um, Ahsoka invites Shin to camp out with her. She's like, hey, I can help you, girl. Like, we're trying to get the fuck out of here. um, and she runs away so, for some reason. Um, and that's where we end that. Part 8. The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord.
awesome title.
Yes, we open up with Elsbeth's initiation. This sorority man really needs to tone down their initiation parties. Let me tell you. If you want to join a party sorority, you join the fucking Night Sisters of Alpha Kappa Delta. Because they
They know how to
will,
get down.
yeah, it is intense, let me tell
They
you.
will show you things.
Yeah. So, um, they initiate her, and then also they're like, hey, initiation gift, here's a sword. It belonged to one of our sisters who went to run another chapter. And she and now she's in the chapter eternal, but we would like you to have this. um for some reason she can't just make it poof into her hand like Mother Talzin could. She has to strap the whole fucking thing to her belt, which
She's
is
not there
almost as
yet.
tall as her. Yeah, I guess not. And she's super excited. She's like, sweet, now I'm like fully in the sisterhood, like let's turn up. She's also like, I'm about to be Mrs. Mithran Uodo, okay. And she is feeling herself. She is probably messing up her spine. She's got a heavy ass sword strapped to the side of her. She's leaning a little bit, but she's doing great. Probably having a hard time seeing it during the daylight, though. She's got very big black eyes now.
Yeah.
Not good for the light retention. I know, that's how my kids look, but they do not have the gift of shadow, though.
Not yet.
No. So then the rest of the episode is Morgan's initiation party, and it rocks. Let me tell you, the sorority house was literally destroyed. Okay. So Ahsoka and everybody are pissed they didn't get invited, so they're gonna go crash. Is basically what's happening. So they're running. They're for some reason the ship can't kill them, even though they're just barraging them with giant lasers onto the ground. But no match for Ahsoka the White and her little band of amateur Jedi. And then I love that she has them use the Force to open the gate. And she's like, Sabine, why don't you help out too, little buddy? You have a big job. Big job, Sabine.
Can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. Oh, also Ezra built a new lightsaber, which was cool.
That's right. He did.
Yeah, because he lives with Hu Yang, who just build lightsabers all day. So they essentially just have like the Jedi Fallen Order like catalog of saber parts. You can customize the saber. Um, yeah, and he literally pulls out kits that look like Galaxy's Edge like kits. Anyways, um, so that's cool. But anyways, they get into the fortress and then they Power Ranger themselves with their different lightsaber colors and they're fighting with the night troopers and all that good stuff. And they all look really great. Rosario Dawson is like doing her best and looks really good. And then plot twist, there's zombies, really cool. I love the moment where Sabine is like trying to block laser bolts, and Ahsoka's like, "Just use your blasters, you dumb bitch." Like, let's be honest.
Let's be
Um,
real here.
yeah. And then she like ones up everybody by showing she can do it. And I was like, okay, all right, Sabine, making your point. Um, and then the whole point is that they're fighting their way, I guess, to the VIP section of the party.
Yeah.
And then we get another Morgan and Ahsoka fight, which I like much better than their initial fight on The Mandalorian. And it's clear, and I don't have her name, but the actress who plays Morgan is a martial artist. Boy, does that show. And Rosario is there.
Rosario is not.
um, but that was probably my favorite part of the whole episode was that initial fight with the choreography they did. Then Ezra and Sabine are fighting the Death Troopers and they're zombies too. And then Sabine is like using the Force and she gets her saber. That's pretty cool. And then she's like, cool. So I think I'm ready to throw a person like a football field distance onto a ship. Let's do that. And Ezra's rightfully so. Like maybe let's try throw a rock first and see if we do that. Right. Um
He starts that run fully expecting to die.
and I think kind of wanting to, you know, like can we yeah. Like he gets up there and he's like, fuck. uh, anyway, so Ahsoka gets to the top and then she's surrounded by night troopers who, for some reason, don't shoot her at all. And Morgan is fighting her, and then they stop to talk, and still nobody shoots her. And then they just wait. They're just waiting, and then Sabine makes this random entrance, like she's just standing next to a night trooper, and like, nobody fucking noticed. And she's like, "Hey, I'm here," and then she does this like, "You like that?" No. And twirls her like she's so proud of herself. She's like, "Not alone." Ow. And and then starts fighting the night troopers, and it's really cringy, and I hated it.
But a great fight.
Yeah. And then at the end, I love that they're fighting Thrawn, and Thrawn calls her and gives that whole monologue just to be like, "I won, bye." Yeah, he's like, "Suck a dick, bitch," and zooms off.
Peace.
Yeah. But not before he opens fire on the Night Sister Temple and completely destroys it, which I feel like the Great Mothers didn't realize he was gonna do. Um,
They're just like on the bridge with him, like, oh.
yeah.
We were
And
hoping to
Morgan.
keep that intact.
And Morgan's dead. She died the day she gets in it. Just I swear to God, these initiation parties, I don't know. They need to be investigated. This is this is another incident where it's just gone out of control and people were killed. Okay. And this is another chapter that's now being shut down.
They only have so many left.
Yeah. And so, like the idiots they are, they fly back to Dathomir and they're like, we'll just restart the other chapter. Yeah. Anyways, that was the gist of Ahsoka in a nutshell. It felt very definitely like the beginning of something, but within itself felt almost trilogy like, in the
Mhm.
sense that like episodes the 1 and 2 probably for me are like the first entry, and then probably parts 3 and 3 through 5 probably would be the next piece of that. And then she even like makes a comment similar to Lando's in Empire Strikes Back. We end with our heroes separated, and then the last few kind of wrap it all up. Um, I will say it's my favorite series though out of the Star Wars live action series so far.
Yeah, it's really good. I really liked Obi-Wan Kenobi. Um, but it's definitely up there. They're probably tied for my favorite.
A lot of people did not like Obi-Wan.
What, Kenobi?
Mm-hmm.
I love Kenobi. I think it's so good.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I just realized I never put up the fucking wallpaper.
You know what? We were just so into it. It's okay.
It's all right. It is okay. Um, yeah, it's up there for me. I definitely like it a lot better than Mandalorian. It's probably up there. I mean, I guess my top two would probably be Andor on this, I guess. Well, yeah, no, I'm gonna stick to that answer, actually. Whoa.
Okay, she's killing both of us.
You
Love
know,
it.
now she's ending us where we sit. Oh shit. Whoa. Back down there.
It's like half the episode is just playing with the Zoom setting.
Why not? Whoa.
So, where do you see them going with this story?
Um, it definitely seems like we're going to Mortis. There's Balin in the statues. We're doing something Mortis heavy. And of course that's a big piece of Ahsoka's story, so it kind of makes sense to go there, I guess. Other than that, I'm not really sure. I don't know if this means we're doing our own thing in this galaxy for a while and detaching a little bit from what's going on in the Mandalorian or what.
Do you think they'll pull some things from Legends to make that story richer and kind of create a new story with bits and pieces?
I think so. That kind of seems to be what Dave is doing with this section of the timeline is he's pulling little things from Legends to patch them in, and that's partially, I think, to make fans happy that feel like the sequels negated things that they liked maybe in Legends.
Mhm.
So maybe they're seeing what they can do, I guess. Um, but yeah, I'm assuming, and even Thrawn himself in this storyline we're doing is pulled really from Legends. So um, yeah, I think this might be kind of the Legends-esque pool we're in right now.
I'm excited.
Me too. I really wish Ray Stevenson was still with us. Since it looks like they had big plans for
Yeah, that does
Balin.
suck.
Yeah. Um,
He's a really cool character. I'd almost like to see like a Tales of the Jedi short about his time before 66. Like, I mean, he'd be younger then, but
hmm,
just to fill in some holes.
yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for more, and I think we'll get some, but it'll be a while now with all the shit going on with the strikes. Um, what do you think is the gayest part of Ahsoka?
Hera's pretty butch.
Was just gonna say that.
She, yeah. Yeah, I'm going. I was gonna say Huyang, but just because he's a sassy droid. But no, no, Hera. Hera is the gayest thing of Ahsoka.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna say either Sabine and Ahsoka for the obvious. Um, or Ezra and Thrawn, which I think is a story of love across the stars.
Hate you.
Yeah,
Absolutely. But
yeah. Um, no, never mind. Yep, that's it.
now I want to finish the thought.
Do it.
Hera's doing some weird shit right now. Okay, cool. We're back.
Yeah, I guess that's it. But I'm glad she's getting some good shit. I'm glad the show was good.
Yeah, I think we were kind of worried that for a second it might not be or they wouldn't handle it right, but I'm really glad that they did. Um, because this is great content and it's new stuff. So
Yeah. And I feel like she's not completely Ahsoka the White yet. She still needs her staff. Um, so maybe we'll see how she gets her staff. She is down one lightsaber, so maybe her staff is the lightsaber,
maybe.
which would be cool. And I think I want to see Sabine build her own lightsaber from scratch, maybe.
Sabine did redeem herself a little bit at the end, but for a majority of the show, I did not like her.
I didn't either. Was not into Sabine. I was pretty okay with being done with Sabine. Um, it seems like
Imagine if they
that's
had
gonna
just
get
killed
better.
her off when she got stabbed in like the second episode. Like that was just it.
What if she did die and this has all been a And it's gonna be like some Bruce
Read.
Willis, like yeah, yeah,
That'd be cool.
yeah. It would be amazing and more Hayden Christensen, please. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching or whatever.
Whenever
Yeah.
you get this.
Whatever you get else. Yeah, that's it, right? We're done.
I think it's all. Yeah, I think it's everything I wanted to say about Ahsoka.
Yeah, me too. I think that's all the notes I really had. We spent a good time talking about it. Okay. We're done with you, bitch. Fuck you. Slaps. Anyway. Yeah, I'm done. Okay.
Sure. Nothing else.
Nothing else. But yeah, so thank you so much for listening and or watching. If you are listening to us on a podcast platform, please subscribe and write a review. If you are viewing us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment down below, and give us a like. We appreciate you being here with us for whatever episode number this is. I can't remember where we were putting it. But yeah, now go watch some Star Wars, and may the Fierce I'll be with you.
Yeah.